Draw? As soon as these words came out, the whole audience was in an uproar. This result was unexpected by many people. It is said that there is no first in literature and no second in martial arts. Once the ring competition begins, there must be a winner. Especially this highly anticipated championship match, there should be a result. Otherwise, what is the point of playing for so long? The most important thing is, if there is no winner, how should their bets be calculated? Could it be that the dealer kills all? Draw is good! Draw is good! Abigail was ecstatic and almost jumped up. She originally just planned to take some handling fees enough for eating and drinking. She didn't expect it to be such a result. It seems that God wants her to make a fortune. I wonder if the two contestants are satisfied with this arrangement? Kate Fraser turned his eyes to Dalton and Grant again. The two have now reached their limits, their spirits are exhausted, and they basically have no strength to fight again. Moreover, the ring has been destroyed and the defensive formation is also in pieces. In a short period of time, there is no suitable venue for the two to fight again. So a draw is the most appropriate result. Do you still have the strength to draw your sword? Grant did not respond to Kate Fraser, but cast his eyes on Dalton. I can still make one move, Dalton said truthfully. The dragon bird sword just now had drained his internal true energy. He now only has the remaining strength for one move. Me too. Grant wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. It's really unwilling to end like this. Since we have fought, we naturally have to score the winner. I think it's better to do this, not using internal energy, just competing in swordsmanship, to see who is better. Good idea. Dalton nodded. Without the protection of the arena and the formation, their fight is indeed very easy to hurt innocent people. But if they suppress their cultivation and compete in swordsmanship, there will be no such worry. We will fight again, this time not in cultivation, but only in swordsmanship, Grant said loudly. Swordsmanship? Kate Fraser raised his eyebrows, looked back at the leaders of the three major sects, and when he saw that the three did not refuse, he responded. It's a good choice, I'll do as you say. Hearing this, the people who were just worried finally breathed a sigh of relief. If it ends in a draw, it will not only be unconvincing, but the people they bet on will also lose everything. Considering the safety and interests, using swordsmanship to determine the outcome is indeed the most perfect solution. Get ready, I'm going to draw my sword. Grant grabbed the underworld strike sword that was inserted upside down in front of him, and the tip of the sword pointed directly at Dalton. Dalton did not speak, and responded with the dragon bird sword. After the two of them stayed in place for a second, they launched an attack at the same time. Without any internal energy blessing, just relying on physical strength, the speed of the two was terrifying. Directly turned into two actor images, colliding with each other in the ruins. Clang, 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 clang. There was only a sound of gold and iron clashing, mixed with sparks shooting everywhere. The two figures were intertwined with each other, and it was impossible to tell who was who. Even if internal energy is not used, just the simplest force collision can stir up ripples similar to strong wind. Like rippling water waves, it continues to spread to all directions. Watching from a distance, the audience still felt a palpitation in their hearts, as if they would be torn into pieces instantly if they came close. Just like this, after a few minutes, the two figures suddenly stopped. Grant's sword pierced Dalton's shoulder. The sharp sword tip pierced the skin and muscles, drawing out traces of blood. One? The audience behind Grant happened to see Dalton's shoulder being pierced, and thought that Grant had won. Those who bet, some rejoiced and some lamented. The audience behind Dalton saw another scene. Although Dalton's shoulder was pierced, his sword pierced Grant's chest. With just a little bit of force, Dalton can kill him with one blow. So they knew very well that it was not Grant who won, but Dalton. In the swordsmanship competition, Dalton was still superior after all. Grant lowered his head and glanced at the sword that had pierced his chest an inch, and his expression became a little complicated. He thought he was unrivaled in swordsmanship, but he didn't expect to be defeated by Logan. The two men's cultivation levels are the same, but their swordsmanship is stronger and weaker. It seems that he will need to work harder in the future. Thank you for not killing me. I admit defeat. Grant withdrew the underworld strike sword and clasped his fists to admit defeat. He is not a sore loser, nor does he care about the false reputation of a champion. His lifelong pursuit is the ultimate in swordsmanship. If you can't win, it means you are not strong enough or you don't work hard enough. There is no other reason. Except. Dalton also drew his sword and returned the gesture with fists in hand to show respect. It was not easy for him to win this battle. It could even be said to be dangerous and difficult. Because Grant is very strong. The 9-hand flying sword can be controlled with ease and has no flaws. If it weren't for the swordsmanship that decided the outcome in the end, he might not have won. Alas! After all, it's just one move away. Seeing this scene, Tychus Hale couldn't help but sigh. When he heard that the two sides were competing in swordsmanship, he felt a little uneasy. Because Grant usually honed his sword skills. Although his sword skills are good, they are not yet at their peak. It is naturally easy to deal with others, but when facing an extremely talented person like Logan, he seemed to be at a disadvantage. But the matter has come to this, and it is useless to say more. Fortunately, Grant was not disappointed at all, and instead had an unprecedented fighting spirit in his eyes. This fighting spirit will continue to drive Grant forward in the future. Sometimes, failure is not necessarily a bad thing, because it will inspire people to move forward bravely.
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever, a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tied,